Hi again, gang. Jeff McAleer here, and today I'm really excited to share with you Dawn of the Zeds, 2nd edition, from Victory Point Games, designed by my good buddy, Herman Luttman. The reason why I'm excited to share this is, obviously, this is the 2nd edition, this is the box edition. This is the original Ziploc, and I apologize for a bit of the glare here today. It's pretty sunny here in Mesa. This came out, oh gosh, I want to say it was 2011 when it first appeared, and it just knocked my socks off. This is probably maybe my favorite game from Victory Point Games, alongside some of the States of Siege games that our pal Steve Carey has designed. But Dawn of the Zeds, even in just the Ziploc edition, was actually my favorite game of 2011. And I know it took a lot of heat from people, got a lot of emails, oh, take that game as the best, it's just a little desktop publishing company. Anyway, regardless, it's a blast, it's fantastic to play. So now we've got the new Deluxe edition that has come out, and I'm dying to see what's in here. So I've just taken the wrapping off to cut down on a bit of the glare that we'd be getting. So let me just slide this out, and oh my gosh, it hates me. It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Look, I nearly knocked the camera over. Plop that right down here. So let's take a look to see what we've got in the box. Well, let's turn it this way. Make life a lot easier. So we've got the new rulebook. Big sized. I know there's some additional components that have been added to this edition of Dawn of the Zeds as well. So we're going to take a look here, but well, look at this. I mean, fully illustrated. Showing you exactly how things are set up. It's talking about, let's flip this over a little bit and zoom in. We're seeing here classic nightmare scenario, how to set up the deck, showing you what the inventory is. If you want to do a short scenario, the standard scenario, a campaign game, target sequence of play, and there's various different examples of play throughout. Just kind of continuing to flip through here. It's a really nice job on the rules here compared to the first edition. I believe this edition has some new artwork too. And it's a sketch I did. I had some time to, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, it looks like the way the rules are graphically designed, it looks like it's supposed to be just a legal pad that somebody's putting notes down on. And then the rules are finishing up with an extended example of play. Very, very nicely done. And the rules clock in 32 pages. So very nice. So we've got that. Looks like we've got a quick play setup card to kind of get you into the game right away, get you playing. Kind of a breakdown of the first couple of turns, it looks like, too. A quick play setup card. Now, you want to keep in mind that Dawn of the Zeds is a solitaire game. It's part of the States of Siege line from Victory Point Games, which are, my gosh, I'd say 99% of them, in my opinion, are excellent, excellent value. A lot of great gameplay, a lot of replayability too. There's been one or two along the line that maybe I wasn't real thrilled with, but overall, I mean, it's a great line of games. Player aid card here. We've got tracking sheets, because you're going to track the level of infection, what your supplies and ammo are, how many actions you, and also you've got your combat tables and so on and so forth. Now we've got a brand new map in the game as well, and it is mounted, so we're going to take a look at that in just a sec. But first, we're going to take a look at the cards. So let's get these opened up. Alright, so I've got the cards opened up, and I've actually broken them up into their various decks. And first off, we've got the characters. And you'll have 4 characters to be able to play with throughout the game, unless there's some additional options that give you more characters. But let's take a closer look. And there are some new characters that have been introduced in the 2nd edition, because I know Big Wheels Carter was not in the original Dawn of the Zeds, nor was Wilson the Hermit, Special Agent Wrights, or Colonel Kingman. But there's Pickles, everybody's lovable dog. And on these cards, you're going to see that it'll break down what their combat abilities are. Of course, Pickles really doesn't have one. But anyway, and special abilities that each of the characters have available to them, and they can use their actions to do these special abilities. Also on the back of the card is a bit of a bio about each of the characters. Now, when you start a game, you're going to pick the characters randomly. Yeah, okay, you can kind of cheat and get, one of the characters you really want. If I remember correctly, I think you can choose one character and then the rest are all going to be randomly chosen. So there's your band of survivors who are going to try to help stem the tide of the Zeds, as well as assist other fleeing survivors who are attempting to make it to Farmingdale to survive. So we've got characters there. Now in the States of Siege games, and many of the Victory Point games that are out there, chaos is king. So everything is driven by event cards, or various different cards that are included in the game. Now, Dawn of the Zeds relies on 2 different decks of cards. One is the event deck, and the other is the fate deck. Now, there are loads of events. And to be very honest with you, it appears to me as if they've practically either doubled or more the number of events that are in here. And you'll have so many cards that make up your deck, and then there's a card that will trigger the end of the game, and that's when the National Guard arrives, because you're just trying to hold out until the National Guard arrives to kind of try to contain the situation, which in my original review I kidded around that if you're a fan of zombie movies, you know that once the military arrives, things actually don't get better, they get a lot worse. But that is the end trigger for the game. So there's a breakdown of how you're going to see where the Zeds move along the game tracks that are on the map. It's going to tell you if you're going to increase the infection level, how many actions are going to be available to you on the turn, so on and so forth. Now, with all these States of Siege games, what usually will happen is that there's way more going on that needs to be addressed than you have actions for. So it really is a tightrope walk to try to survive these games. They're called States of Siege games because your back is really up against the wall in almost every one of them, and they are not easy to win. So when you do win, it really is an accomplishment. So here we have the events. Now let's take a look at the fate cards. And these are other cards that you'll see a lot of things that take place in zombie movies and zombie TV shows kind of gamed within Dawn of the Zeds as well. So a lot of different things. I remember there's a card in the first edition where one of your characters snaps and they run off and decide to do themselves in because they just can't handle it anymore. So a lot of pretty wild stuff that's in here. So I can tell right off the bat, the second edition has loads and loads of additional cards that have been added to it. You also get a couple of dice in the game, and for those of us who have been following Victory Point games for a long time, they used to put these little itty bitty teeny mini dice in the polybag games. Now you get a little bigger dice. But if you're a gamer, you got tons of dice at your disposal. So let's take a look at the map, and I'm going to move some of this other stuff out of the way so we can lay it out. And of course, got some poly bags because there's going to be various different counters we're going to see after the map. So I'm going to take a guess, like many of the new and improved. Oh wow! Oh yeah, no, I'm right. I was going to say in the new and improved box editions of the Victory Point games, we're seeing a three-piece map. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, move the box off to the side, and let's put the map together. For a second I thought, oh no, they put two. No, I'm kidding. So I can see that it's dual-sided. So this is the map of the area around Farmingdale. And you'll see by the various different colors, these are the tracks. And some of them have signs. For an example, interstates, state routes, things like that. Normally in the other editions of the Victory Point games, States of Siege, it's just a track. This is really much, much more attractive. And I believe there's an additional track that's been added to the game. So we've got the suburbs, the forest, the highway, the mountains. I thought there was a tunnel track. I may be wrong. So you've got that right there. There's also a paper map. And it's a really nice paper map. It's not just a piece of paper. So if you want to use the paper map, you can use the paper map instead. And then we have the all-new counters. And they are dual-sided. And they look smashing. These look very, very cool. I have seen some of these already punched out and put together. There's actually little barricades that you'll be able to put together right up here. We'll zoom back in and take a peek at some of these. So you've got the civilians, because you can have civilians fighting for you, bikers can show up, raiders can show up. The little infection level, if you notice, the eyes and the nose are laser cut out. Various different zombie strength levels. Very, very cool. Really, really nice. They have just really gone above and beyond what I had expected from this, because to be very honest with you, Dawn of the Zeds is really a tentpole title for Victory Point games. It really is. And last I took a look, the second edition is their top-selling game right now. So that's what's in the box for Dawn of the Zeds, second edition, from my pal Herman Letman. Now, of course, I'm going to have a review later on about the second edition. If you'd like to get a better feel for what I thought of Dawn of the Zeds in its initial incarnation, by all means, swing by the website and check it out, because it is. Once again, this is Jeff McAleer. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, be sure to swing over to thegaminggang.com for the latest in genre news and reviews. Hope you have a great day, and see you next time.